For a collaborative conversation to be really effective, there are some indicators we should watch for in our students. I think the first indicator is that the task that we're asking students to collaborate on, to talk about, has to be complex enough. If the task isn't complex enough, it's easier to divide and conquer the task. And people, kids will say, I'll do this part, you do this part, and you over there do this part. That's not a collaborative conversation. So the first indicator we're really looking for is the rigor, the complexity of the task we're asking students to complete. If it's complex enough, they will stay together as a group and talk and interact. As part of that, we're looking at productive failure, not planned failure, but the idea that it might be wrong, that if we don't stay together and really work on this and think about it, and interrogate each other's ideas, disagree and agree and think and talk and argue, that we might get this wrong. So there's a risk that, wow, if I divide off of my group, I might not complete this task correctly. So that productive failure is a really interesting concept around complexity. Another indicator we should look for in these collaborative conversations is the nonverbal, the turn-taking, the pointing. We call it joint attention. And kids pay joint attention to the task or materials. They look at each other. You can tell that's a group and that's a group. They're different because of their interactions, their nonverbal cues, their body language. That's a positive indicator to look for in a classroom. The third indicator is being able to use argumentation, that you can offer a claim, a counterclaim, ask for evidence, disagree, agree, that students have really been taught how to use argumentation and not just arguing. Another indicator is the group size. If the group gets too big, collaborative conversations just don't work. I'm not sure we really can do a group over 5 and keep it truly collaborative. People get left out of the conversation, or the group naturally self-divides into smaller groups. So there can be some partners, there can be some triads, there can be some groups of 4 or 5. One of the important things we've learned about collaborative conversations is all the groups in the classroom don't have to be the same size.